Hey, what's going on, everyone? Gillis TV back here today with another Edmonton Oilers video, and today we're going to look at the goaltending options there, and one name that kind of stands out that personally I would stay clear from, just looking at his numbers and all that. We'll get into that in a moment, but if you're new to the channel, like anything Oilers related or NHL, if there's major news for any other team, I try to do every team, but of course the Oilers are number one, as I got the new Andrew Cogliano pitcher hanging up there. It's been a while since he wore an Oilers jersey, but like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into this. Yesterday I did Pittsburgh and Erik Karlsson, and that TSN's Travis Yost kind of said the Oilers could be a destination for Karlsson. We're going to stay with the Pittsburgh Penguins, but we're going to look at the goalie scenario here, and that's Tristan Jarry. Now, like I said in yesterday's video, if you haven't gone or seen that, go check that out. Like I said, Pittsburgh is kind of in a rebuild mode. They're trying to get away from all these contracts, get some prospects, some draft capital back, and build quickly is kind of Kyle Dubas's thing here with Pittsburgh. And we're looking at Tristan Jarry, and honestly, right off the bat, I'm going to say stay away from him. Now, I'll tell you why. Yes, even with Pittsburgh said to be retaining 50% of wherever he goes, that's still 3 years at 50% of a 5.375. So we'll say that's 2.7 there to round it up. So 2.7 million. That's not the worrisome. 2.7 million the Oilers could fit in, but we got to think about what his stats are like. And honestly, looking at his stats, we got a player that's arguably worse numbers than Stuart Skinner, and fans are trying to say Stuart Skinner needs to leave too. So why bring in Tristan Jarry if we're saying for a goalie who has actually some better stats than Tristan Jarry is not doing the job? Why bring Tristan Jarry in? I know a lot of people are speculating, hey, we should upgrade on Calvin Pickard, and what's the likelihood of him improving for a third season? I get that. But Pix is only making $1 million here. Worst case scenario, you send him down and you bring someone else up, or you look at the waiver wire during the preseason and whatnot before opening night. Now, going through Tristan Jarry's stats here, he played 36 games last season, had 16 wins, and 2 shutouts. He had a .312 goals against and an .893 save percentage. Now let's put that in perspective for Stuart Skinner, who played 51 games, had 26 wins, 3 shutouts. But looking at the other two numbers, so Tristan Jarry for goals against had a .312, Stuart Skinner had a .281. Stuart Skinner had an .896 save percentage, and Tristan Jarry had an .893. So 3 points lower, or 0.03 of a points lower than Stuart Skinner. Now, looking at the career-wise, this is kind of where numbers could be a little misleading. Stuart Skinner's played 174 games. Jarry's played 293. So we'll just say a good 120 more for Tristan Jarry. Jarry has, in those 293 games played, 152 wins and 21 shutouts. Skinner in those 174 games has 98 wins, 7 shutouts. So when I said the numbers are a little deceiving, is looking at the goals against and save percentage. Goals against for Stuart Skinner in 174 career, this is regular season games, he has a .273 goals against. In 293 games, Jarry has a 2.75. In his career, he has a .909 save percentage, where Stu Skinner has a .906. So pretty even numbers for the career-wise. But the one statistic I look at Tristan Jarry and I go, well, yeah, he had a couple really good seasons, but the last few seasons he's fallen off. So this previous season, like I said, he had a .312 and an .893. The season before that, .291, .903. Season before that, .290 and a .909. So pretty good early on in his career. You look at kind of when he came into his shell in 2019-2020 here, played in 31 games, 243 goals against, and a 921 save percentage. Then it jumps up to 275 and 909, jumps back down to 242, 919, and so on and so forth. So a lot of his better numbers came when he came into being a full-time kind of backup for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and also when he took over that starter role once Marc-Andre Fleury went to the Vegas Golden Knights. Lately, last 3 seasons, yes, that 909 is good for a save percentage, but he still had a 2.9 goals against. Then it's dropping to 903. Then it dropped 10 points to 893. And his goals against has gone up. So it's one of those where it would be a gamble for the Edmonton Oilers. He is 30 years old. We got to remember that too. Stu is only 26. Jarry is 30. So by the end of his contract, he's 33. That's, Stu still has time to grow, and a new goalie coach. And I think with the new goalie coach, it will be for Stuart Skinner anyway, a 1-year trial. Hey, learn from this goalie coach. We all know what we all think about just Dustin Schwartz. I've been in the home openers where the boos are louder than the cheers for the Oilers when they say Dustin Schwartz's name. So with that being said, I think the Oilers, realistically, if they are going to go for a goalie, I don't think it's a starter this year. I think they're going to give Stu the shot. Now, hey, if they're fighting for a playoff spot, and we've seen this back in the day with Dwayne Rollison, if they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot come the trade deadline, I do see them going for a goalie at that point. A goalie to make sure they can get into the playoffs and whatnot. But over that time frame, you can accumulate cap space, which the Oilers are probably going to try and do. Accumulate that cap space, gain more cap space to go out and get a better goalie. Now that's maybe where you bring in a guy like Jordan Binnington or whoever they've been linked to all summer long so far already. And you just go, okay, this is our goalie. He's going to lead us. Stu falls back to the 2 spot, or it's a 1A, 1B scenario, depending on who you get. I just don't think the Oilers should go after Tristan Jarry right now. I don't think it's an upgrade. Even with the 50% retained, it's roughly around Stuart Skinner's cap. Anyway, I just don't see Tristan Jarry right now being the guy that is going to be the one to save this team. Now, last season he played 36 games. The year before that he played 51 and then 47. His career for games played is 58. So even if the Oilers did realistically approve this option, go after Tristan Jarry, it's going to be a 1A, 1B scenario with Stuart Skinner. But like I said, with the new goalie coach, I think Stuart Skinner is going to be prove yourself now and go from there. But that's it for me today. The kids want to go get some makeup from Shoppers, so I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.